Hello, this is a recap of I want to say it's the fourth day. Kind of losing track of time here. Today I did it on my computer just because I probably won't have time to do it in the morning, and because I slept most of the night, I'm kind of wide awake. It's like 2:30 a.m. in the morning right now, but today was definitely another beautiful, eye-opening experience. Being here in Africa. Like I mentioned in the tapes prior, like it just feels right, like home, like so welcoming and embracing, and just one thing that I really noticed today is how slow time is moving. Or no, not so much how slow time is, how much I'm so much present and in the moment, as opposed to how I typically am in the States or in my day-to-day life. I'm very much focused and on the go and always have something going, walking fast. Like we went for lunch today. We had lunch in PramPram, which is about an hour away from Accra, where we're staying. It's more rural. We volunteered at a school today, but after we volunteered, we went to like their beach resort and had lunch, and we were like right on the beach, and it was something very, very reflective and emotional about being on the coast and being in that area. And there were some abandoned ships in the water, and I mean they probably weren't slave ships, but like it just was very symbolic of just the experience in general. Like it was just so overwhelming, and taking all of that in, it's just been again a crazy experience. Yeah, just a crazy experience. Uh, I picked some seashells, got in the water, walked on the beach, had conversations, and just took in the experience. And walking back to the bus, like I realized how slow I was walking. And I'm very much a fast walker, and just how much I was so enthralled in that time and space, and was able to appreciate that. So that was a highlight of today. Before we went to the resort and to the beach, we volunteered we were at Wesley Methodist Basic School, and I said it like that because our tour guide there, or our host there, that's how he said it to really get us to learn the name of the school. So Wesley Methodist Basic School. Um, Again, an experience where the children were very much disciplined, and as an American, growing up in America and seeing some of the challenges that teachers face and things of that nature, and how far away we've gotten from the structure of the classroom. Like these children were very disciplined. Like they did their pledge of allegiance to their country, sung a song, had prayer, marched to class, and very respectful. We helped them do some of their practical learning, and making bricks and planting trees and painting rocks and making a native dish, and it was so overwhelming. I had video of it. It's just like wow, like America and our arrogance, or the Western world and our arrogance, and looking down on indigenous cultures and the things that they do. Like you would never see that in today's age. You will never see that type of discipline in the classroom. Like you will never see that type of community. It was very warming to see the teachers even after the children did their daily rituals before they enter class, or on their breaks, the teachers got together and prayed before they went and taught the classes, and that was very significant and symbolic, regardless of your religious affiliation. That showed unity amongst teachers. So nowadays, teachers can work at the same school and never say a word to each other the whole year. You know, and students very much see that and play on that. So it was just an eye-opening experience. I have videos of the children. They taught me how to dance, and it was cool. Like it was like home. Like I just felt my presence has never been welcomed like that, or been respected like that. They performed a dance with us and did traditional libations, and it was a humbling experience. Like I sat in on their computer class, and this is what their computer class consists of. It's this big printout of screenshots of what Microsoft Word or what a computer looks like, and the teacher went through and explained all of that and demonstrated what bold and italics and underline and stuff looked on the chalkboard. Not having a computer, most of them not having access to a computer or probably never ever seen a computer, like they had a paper layout of what the keyboard looked like in practice that way, just in case they ever had an opportunity to do that. So I don't know. The side note, the timing may be off on this video. I don't know why. I'm looking at it and it's a little delay, so I may recap this stuff. But we had an interesting conversation during our debriefing today. A lot of emotions running high and on the school of thought, and it just, it's good to facilitate that conversation and have those conversations, but it was very much from a Eurocentric, arrogant American type of way, and our selfishness and judging their culture, not so much judging, but our evaluation of what they do and how they do things. It's very interesting dynamic, how we judge what is right or what is wrong or what's acceptable, what's not acceptable. A lot of people talked about religion in the school and how that they don't see religion as a part of their culture. It's very much a holistic way of viewing and rearing children than we have in America, where things are so segmented and compartmentalized. The separation of church and state and all of that. Like I think that contributes to how students and children develop. These students at these schools, they're multilingual students. They know their cultural language. They know English. They know other cultural languages. You know what I mean? We're very much a monolingual society where English is the end all be all, and you may take I'll take it just so I can say I took it and have some kind of knowledge of it, but not to master it like they have. And they've very much taught us a few things, and even the value of hard work and labor and the type of community that builds and the type of society that builds. Their practical work was making bricks so that they can build another school building. It'd probably take them maybe not years, but a year to make all the bricks and cement to build that. But them doing that builds ownership of their property and builds ownership of their education. Them planting trees and watching those trees grow and using the resources from those trees, like I said, builds a sense of community, a sense of ownership, and these types of trades and things they can take with them wherever they go, whether they grow up and decide to stay in Africa or travel abroad, wherever they go. They have these set of skills and this set of knowledge that we take for granted, and they very much want to be there. Unlike the public school systems in America, where everything is free, you're mandated to send your child to school. Like there's still a certain level of fees that are associated with their public schools in regards to uniforms and school supplies and stuff like that. So on the compound that we were at, there were school-age children who were walking around or looking in, who couldn't go to school because their parents didn't have the funds to send them to school. And from my conversations with professors and some of the people there, like the cost to go is 50 CDs, which is their currency, which translates to probably about $20-30 American money. 20-30 oh, here you go. But that's very much a big deal to them. And walking and looking, driving through the community and seeing some of the poverty, but at the same time seeing the community. And we devalue community in the Western world. It's very much individualistic in what you can get out of people and out of experiences, as opposed to how can this build the collective. And in black culture, that is what's missing. And for people who don't know my views on integration, like, hindsight is 2020, and I don't knock, and I very much appreciate the struggle of the civil rights movement, what those did. But in my opinion, I think Brown versus Board of Education and the integration of schools did more harm than good, when we should have been allocating for resources so that we can better teach our children and stick with that community. Because, just because they went to white schools didn't mean those white teachers were teaching them or gave a damn about what they were learning in their development. And I think in the black schools, though we didn't like that, we had that community. What we lacked were resources. So, and something too, touching on that subject of just about education, American education, like, teachers complain about having lack of resources and not having things, not being having sufficient supplies to teach. We're talking about a community where people are sharing pens, or they have one notebook or one pen for the whole year, and no decorations on the walls. They didn't need the big calendars or the walls specific to these things that, in all actuality, distract students from learning more than anything. In my opinion, this is solely my opinion. They just had a chalkboard. They had their notebooks, very detailed notes, and I'm not talking like from the high school. I'm talking about from elementary on, a very detailed notes about the lessons and what they learned. So it's just been an amazing experience. I went to the mall here, which was interesting. Very, you can see the classism of the state. I mean, of the country. Like, it was very much the affluent Ghanaians, I think I'm saying that right, who were there and who worked in those malls and those stores, but very, very modern and westernized, with American stores like Puma, and they had an eye shop and a bookstore, a music store, grocery store, their version of Walmart, which is called Game, I think. But it's just very interesting. Tomorrow we're going to Cape Coast, which should be even more emotional and experience, going to the slave castles and the door of no return and all of that. So I'm excited for that. But right now I'm going to try to do some homework because, I have an on-campus interview on the 11th, and my portfolio, which is the equivalent of my thesis, is due on the same day. So see you tomorrow.